Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Barn for Pop. I'm your host, Drip Coach. Let's jump right into it. So today, hopefully a quick video, we're going to address and discuss the tragedy of the commons. You may have never heard of that, but it's all too common, pun intended, right? So it goes back to a concept that was popularized way back in 1833. So this is from the Harvard Business School online. So it's a rather decent publication that you can look at in regarding to this study. But the tragedy of the commons refers to a situation in which individuals with access to a public resource, also called a common, act in their own interest, and in doing so ultimately deplete the resource. Now it went back specifically addressing around things like public land and livestock and things of that nature. And here's a great example of it. So use of the commons in this case, which was the land for the sheep and other cattle. Below the carrying capacity of the land, all users benefit. So meaning you have this limited resource. If everybody keeps to just the minimum amount of sheep that they need or cattle or whatever, and don't overbreed this area, basically the grass can grow back. You can have your sheep and you can just keep the cycle going. However, if one or more users increase the use of commons beyond its carrying capacity, the commons becomes degraded. The cost of degradation is incurred by all users. So if one person is selfish or believes that someone else will beat them to the punch, they decide, hey, I'm going to get more cows and sheep here before they do. Then now everybody suffers. And of course, not everybody copies the same thing. And then unless environmental costs are accounted for and addressed in the land use practices, eventually the land will be unable to support the activity. So we're going to talk about it strictly from the DeFi side, but just want to give you some context on that and then go into the additional details here. So they got 5 examples. Coffee consumption. While a simple cup of coffee might seem harmless, coffee consumption is a prime example of tragedy of commons. Coffee plants are a naturally occurring shared resource, but overconsumption has led to a habitat loss, endangering 60% of plant species. Overfishing, fast fashion. I didn't realize this one. This was kind of fascinating. Overproduction by fashion brands has created extreme product surplus to the point that luxury brand Burberry burnt. Not burn as in drip tokens or as in DeFi tokens, literally burning clothes. $37.8 million worth of its 2018 season leftovers to avoid offering a discount on unsold wares. So in order to keep their assets at premium costs, they would rather burn them than sell them to other people and degrade the brand. That's nuts. Traffic congestion and groundwater usage. Right. So what does all this have to do with drip? Well, I'm going to tell you because they give some solutions in this Investopedia article. So preventing the tragedy of commons, societies have developed methods of dividing and enforcing exclusive rights to economic goods and natural resources, of punishing those who overconsume common resources. That sounds great. That's kind of like, blacklisting wallets or making buy taxes higher, whales, all these different things that have been implemented within the system. But let's go further. Assigning private property rights over resources to individuals can convert a common pool resource into a private good. Technologically, it may mean developing a way to identify, measures, and mark units of parcels of the common pool resource into private holdings, such as branding cattle. So this is stuff that we could look at in regards to blockchain. So what am I getting at? Well, the point is that as of right now in this video, drip is sitting at 2 cents, 0.024 to be exact on PancakeSwap. Now, the good news is the sell volume has decreased from what we've seen over the past. So we had dropped down quite a bit into the negative 40, 60, 80, 100K range. And now since 14 of August, actually this will be 14, so I lied. Let's go to 15. That is 14. So 14 August until now, which is 31 August. So basically 2 weeks, we've had essentially just over or around 10K sell volume. And you can see that reflected here. So I don't know if that's going to continue, but as I mentioned in previous videos, there comes a point where people run out of steam because the cost of selling the token is just peanuts and nobody wants to do it. So you have to sell, like this person down here, 200 drip just to get $5. And it's just like, you know what, screw it. It's not worth it. Gas is 60 cents or 30 cents or whatever. So people stop doing it. Now, the issue is going to be, when drip pumps and all that's accumulated in the faucet, because they're not selling it, but it's still there. Like it's just sitting in the faucet ready to be claimed at any time. So the tragedy of the commons in drip is the fact that this resource has been exploited and depleted at the selfish cost of a few individuals. And that's why, ironically, like I never got into these forks, but you can look at Furio and Arc and some of these other ones, they're actually performing better, because what happened was they forked it, couldn't fork the community, but they at least saw the issues with the contract and made pivots and changes early on enough to have liquidity still available in a shorter roadmap. So granted, you're not comparing apples to apples. We've been around for 2.5 years now, and they've been around shorter, but people in DeFi don't care about the longevity. They just care about the price action. All they care about is what's my token worth. So what I'm getting at is that some of these solutions that were implemented in this Harvard Business School article, as well as here in Investopedia, is things that we should be trying to look at. Now, as I mentioned before, we can't rely on Forex to change anything. That's not going to happen. But what we could do as a collective, and I got another video coming out to show that the collective is stronger than any of Forex's marketing and branding or anything. I'm going to show like basically projects and stuff that we did as a community have outshined any of Forex's actual marketing and brand recognition and paying shillers and all this stuff. So clearly the power is in the community, but it has to all be pointed in one direction. And I don't know exactly what that direction is, but there are things in the works, such as this project Aqueduct. So this is from the Stuff the Res committee, I guess you could say. And the goal is to collect donations for AFP tokens, BUSD, BNB, or that will be swapped to AFP, to basically migrate liquidity from the animal farm to the reservoir. Now, I like this idea. I've been telling people this is exactly, again, what I mentioned with Crypto Ranch. So one way to make the ecosystem circulate the money back to Drip. It all left Drip with the Manor Farm raise, and it went in the animal farm, and we've seen nothing but negative price action on Drip ever since. And since we know Forex is 100% devoted to the animal farm, why not take advantage of his focus, put some projects there that will just keep that money flowing back to Drip. Forex isn't going to do it, but damn sure that we can. So this is a great idea. I like the concept of the pigs and swapping them and things of that nature, because I think the pigs price will see a turnaround. I don't know when, but I do think it's going to go lower before it goes higher. But the simple fact that Forex has those thousands of pigs that he has and his focus is all on it, I think this is a great opportunity to accumulate them. Even creating positions within the asset pools that could benefit from V3 is also another play. Again, similar to my Crypto Ranch idea. I keep saying that because I saw this 7 months ago, but nobody wanted to step up when I made my pivot from Change 360. So I'm not looking for support now. I could care less, but I am glad to see that people are taking their head out of their butt and actually doing things as a collective towards this. Now, I don't actually know what the community sentiment is and how much support we'll get on this, but the point, back to the tragedy of the commons, is you have to create ways to sustain these resources that are being drained at a higher clip from people that are basically just selfishly draining the system for their own benefit. So you have here still, $10,000 to $6,000 worth of sell volume, and there needs to be some way to sustain that. Now, granted, the minute we get more buy volume in, then you're gonna have more sell volume again, because like I said, right now, slowly people are just stop playing or stop contributing, stop compounding, stop withdrawing, but they will be back. They're not gone. As the video I mentioned before about, diamond hands and paper hands, these people are not gone. They're just waiting for an opportunity to get more money out of the system. So we as a collective have to create sustainable pathways to inject capital into Drip, with Ponzi-nomics, with gambling, with utility, whatever it is, wherever the money wants to come from, it needs to be unified and all put into one location. And the reservoir, I think, is a great space. So shouts out to the team for doing that. So just wanted to shed some light on some history of the tragedy of the commons, because history tells us how we can solve these exact same problems. As the old saying goes, there's nothing new under the sun, just got a new wrapper, basically, with technology at the forefront of it. So if we actually do our homework, and if you listen to Ray Dalio, shouts out to him and his book, the fourth turning, I think it is, and principles. He basically lets people know that everything we're seeing in life is just another quote unquote one of those. And if you can get good at pattern recognition, then you're not surprised when things happen, regardless of the new wrapper that it has on it. So Tragedy of the Common's been around now for, what is that, almost 200 years. So it's the way to fix it is there, and we can use technology and things of that nature to expedite that solution. So that's all I got. Hope that provided some clarity and some insight. As always, smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.